The winds of change are here as 10 superstars transferred from SmackDown to Raw, plus a Savage attack, champion versus champion, and that ambulance had a family!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin! Shake it up.
Shake it up. Oh my God. If there was ever a reason to watch the YouTube stream,
it would be right now watching Mr. Jonny Loquasto shaking it up.
Fun dadding it up, baby.
I feel like we're at a skating ring.
I can't roller skate. No way.
No?
Really?
No, I was a fat kid. Oh, God, no.
Oh, no.
I went to a roller skating party one time, and I fractured my tailbone, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, God.
Undiagnosed. Pretty sure I fractured my tailbone when I was 9 years old.
Well,
Oh, that's horrible.
that's how our show's gonna go.
Yep, welcome, everybody. It's time to shake it up on the Raw After Show following Monday Night Raw. We are here on AfterBuzz TV. Jonny Loquasto here with you at J. Kawasto, the man on the ones and twos. Find him on Twitter at Mark B. Donica, because I believe he's Mark B. Donica.
You got it right.
And that man right there, you see him every single week on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He is the first progenitor of Hyper Optimism. On Sunday, April 23rd, he and Eric Watts will be defending the United Tag Team titles in a Fatal 4-Way elimination match at Coastline Clash. You find him on Twitter at Ty Matthews PMA. He's Ty Matthews.
Next, feeling good, getting back in that ring.
I can't wait to see it.
Feeling good. We're shaking it up just like we did tonight.
Yes, we are shaking it up. And finally, last but not least, with the lovely Nails, very funny actress and improviser. She's one of the hosts on Marvel Movie News as well as Screen Junkies News. Find her on Twitter at Markeia McCarty. She's Markeia McCarty.
Yeah, I love that y'all chose this music, and I just really enjoy everything that happened
It was
tonight.
a pretty good choice.
And Dean Ambrose is back on Raw.
I knew the second that happened,
Oh!
I knew how excited you were going to be.
I know. I was like screaming in my living room. It's like, I knew it. I'm psychic.
I just love that was your favorite moment. Meanwhile, Braun Strowman literally decapitated Roman
Literally.
5 times.
Yeah.
There's no body parts left.
It was like it was a gag, like that just kept going. Like I couldn't stop.
I'm not
laughing.
done with you.
It's like, my God, man, he's dead.
It literally, we have not seen a beating like that since Peter Griffin versus the Chicken. It just kept
Nice.
going and going and going.
You didn't want it to stop. Let's be honest.
I mean, really, if we're being real.
After his interview, and I was just like, no. That entire time I was like, no, no. And then Strowman shows up.
Once he flipped the stretcher, I thought, all right, that's
That's
enough.
probably a good note to end on.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
He wasn't done with him.
He's
No.
got more things to tip.
Went back in, had to punch his face a few times just to make sure he wasn't getting out of that stretcher. And
The only thing left he should have done is, why you hitting yourself? Why you hitting yourself?
Oh, lords.
you know how they say when in moments of extreme you not excitement but like
Danger?
In extreme distress, like
you
when
you can
moms
lift up a car. Yeah. Well, Braun Strowman has mom strength because he lifted up an ambulance.
Hey, Braun's baby was right under that ambulance.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
We've never seen anything quite like that on Raw.
I was like, yeah.
What if he shows up on SmackDown tomorrow? He's like, wanted to go out with a bang.
Exactly. I knew I'd never see him again.
Wow.
Man.
That was, though, we called it months ago.
What's that?
That in order, if they really want anyone to get on the side of Roman Reigns, he has to get decimated.
Just absolutely annihilated.
And
Yeah.
I didn't expect this, but nice.
Right.
Loved this.
This was just, it kept going.
This was so good.
It was
so good.
It was excessive in the best way.
They should have cut to commercial and then come back and Braun is still beating him up.
Just, yeah, exactly.
Just to prove it.
Guys,
Yeah.
we got to get that Popeyes money. We'll be back. And then just come back.
They should have came back and Undertaker was just putting Reigns into a coffin.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Wow.
Body bag, old school style.
Whew. That wasn't even the beginning, all right? The beginning of Monday Night Raw, so it's Superstar Shakeup. None of us really knew what that meant exactly. It wasn't a draft, but people were going to change shows. How's it going to happen? Well, they just start showing up.
That's exactly, I was kind of... I was surprised at that part of it. The fact that, like, there's no real structure to it.
We barely saw Angle. We saw him once.
Like we got a
Twice.
couple of announcements, but it was mostly just people's music hit, and I guess they're on Raw now.
Yeah, and then they're walking down the ramp, and we're like, okay, so this is a thing now.
Yep.
That was, I mean, I would have thought we would have seen more announcements from, say, Angle, because we only saw him twice.
Sure. But
maybe they retired from last year with the draft where they were like, it was very structured.
Right.
Extremely. And now it was just
True.
like, just have them walk down the
Well,
ring.
now they just like they like getting that reaction where someone unexpected's music hits.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, starting off though, we got John Cena
Now hit that song.
Yeah.
and
Now
Nikki
hit
Bella.
Hit that music.
Hit it, Mark. Time to go to work. I love when Miz, that's my favorite thing that Miz does, is he looks in the camera and he always says something like, let's go. Or he does the same little message.
It's the deep cuts. It's the deep cuts that really make impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
They're
my
fantastic.
God. He's such a good Cena.
So it's not John Cena, it's not Nikki Bella, it is the Miz and Maurice. That's it.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
And he said, look, I promised that we'd go to Hollywood, but we stink. We're not good actors. We're robotic, so we're coming to Monday Night Raw. But then Markeia's boy, Dean Ambrose, music hits.
Yes!
He's now on Monday Night Raw. He congratulates John and Nikki. He's a little bit confused to where the Miz says, whoa.
Hang on, before we get to that, I enjoyed so much him just continuously grating their nerves by playing along with the bit.
Yeah,
That's pretty much my favorite.
it was solid.
Everything,
How do you feel?
Everything
You pumped?
Dean's my favorite. I'm so pumped.
But
I called
everything,
it.
let's be honest,
I
Dean had a
called
couple
it.
of months where he was trying to be a funny guy in a 10-gallon hat. It wasn't
Well,
working.
that's the thing. Wacky Dean doesn't work so
No,
much.
no. Berserker Dean.
We need a
That's a
legitimate
Dean.
out of his
Lunatic
mind.
fringe.
Well, what was tonight?
Jumping out of presents. He was playing.
I think
he had some play in it.
I think tonight he kind of split the difference a little
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get back to Berserker Lunatic Fringe soon enough.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, but no insane asylum matches. I'm okay without those. None
Well,
of those.
The Miz reveals, he said, hey, it's not John and Nikki. This is Miz and Maurice. She takes off the wig, and the Amber's like, oh, all right. Well, in that case, Dirty Deeds. That was a great way to start.
Yeah.
It was.
That
Because
was
it was Dean Ambrose.
right. It was
Yeah.
cool. I mean, all of a sudden, the first segment, we have 3 new people from SmackDown, Raw,
Right.
including a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they started it off.
I gotta say, how do you guys feel? I'm a little disappointed. I thought Miz was about to enter the main event picture on SmackDown, and all of a sudden now, boom. Or I thought maybe he was gonna battle Nakamura, perhaps, but
Right.
not now.
No.
I don't know. I thought Miz and Maurice really had a great home on SmackDown, and they were one of the main reasons why the show was so compelling over this past 9 months.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you have to keep in mind, we don't know who from Raw is going over to SmackDown.
Very true.
They might take some real choice people, since we got some choice people tonight.
Well, and we were talking a little bit before we went live. None of us were expecting just how many people showed up tonight.
yeah, I was
Right,
thinking
10 people.
at the most 4 or 5.
Right. That's what I was
At
thinking.
the most.
But
Like a tag team, Dean Ambrose.
right. Sure.
Well, it makes you
No.
wonder if anyone who was on the show tonight, they probably will be
yeah.
going to SmackDown, or I'm trying to think of who specifically was not on the show that kind of gives it away, but I would like to think they're not going to play that card either.
I don't think they would be quite that blatant about it. I think a lot of the people that we did see tonight will also see tomorrow.
Brock Lesnar going to SmackDown.
That's what it is.
Maybe.
They get both titles.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yep, sure.
Yeah,
Probably not.
but we get the ITC.
Yep.
Well, right now on Raw, we have the U.S. and IC titles.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta believe one of them is probably going to SmackDown.
Right. And
Meaning-
I don't think they're gonna do take backsies where we have someone from SmackDown show up on Raw and then back on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I think KO's going to SDL.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird if they did that.
and that could actually make sense because Kevin Owens took the title from Jericho at WrestleMania. Jericho gets to come up tonight with the Code Breaker. So technically, he did lose the war, but he gets one final slap to the face before maybe Kevin Owens goes to SmackDown.
Well, and they've still got their match at Payback.
Oh yeah, that's
is
a Raw
true.
exclusive though.
Right, but I mean, I think they'll do one of those things because they did that with the draft. There were matches booked before the draft that still happened afterwards with guys on both brands.
Point
That's
taken.
what happened with Brock and Randy.
That's very true.
Randy. The amazing Rando.
And so
Brando.
backstage, Kurt Angle and Sami Zayn are having a conversation. I really love the neurotic Sami. It's just the wordy Sami and the handsy Sami. I dig it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm on the fence about it, but I think I like it.
Yeah. Well, anyways,
How underdogs do when they get nervous.
right. I mean, Sami.
They turned into Woody Allen characters.
Oh, look,
Well,
Kurt, what I want to say is, oh my God, Kurt, I really want to stay on Raw, but people keep saying that I might be going to SmackDown. I just want to know, I mean, it's like, look,
This
I'm not trying to.
This is what Fun Dad does at parties.
I'm not trying to be
y'all.
habitual
will
about
say,
it.
I like it. I like it. I will say that Kurt Angle's facial expressions definitely enhanced the segment a lot too.
Kurt is killing it as GM.
He really is.
Like, it brings me so much joy to see him having so much fun. I'll be honest, I didn't think he had it in him the last couple of years in TNA, but it turns out he was either just really bored or they weren't giving him anything creative. Because all of a sudden he's back, and bam, it's like Angle 10 years ago.
Right. Right.
He's hitting it.
Tiny cowboy hat angle.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, I mean, better than that, though. Like, you could tell, like, he's in charge, but at the same time, he's secure enough to be goofy. Which
Absolutely.
is really cool.
And that was a big part of his acceptance speech at the Hall of Fame, is that, like, he's not only an Olympic gold medalist, but he's also willing to just be ridiculous and humiliate himself for the sake of the fans.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
So, yeah, he tells Sami Zayn, there's been a lot of interest from SmackDown. And Sami's like, what
Let's
numbers?
quantify that.
Numbers? What type of numbers? What type of numbers are we talking about? Anyway, Miz and Maurice show up. They're mad. And long story short, Kurt Angle makes a match. Miz versus Sami Zayn tonight.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. That,
I think I don't
those
know.
are facts.
My only thoughts are I think it's funny that they're painting Kurt Angle's regime as like he actually makes matches for people to settle their differences. It's like that's kind of been happening for
Yeah, that's part and parcel.
year after year after year
for
after
the
year.
position.
I'm starting to believe we might not see Stephanie for a long time.
I don't think so. I'm thinking maybe not till around maybe SummerSlam time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, have Kurt set everything up his way, and then when she comes back, she'll be like, "What the f is going on here?"
Right. They've certainly got history.
Yeah, that's the thing. But right now you want to have Kurt get his feet on the ground.
Exactly.
whatever you wanna call it.
Yeah, without the McMahon presence like being seen and felt.
Right.
Right. New Day minus Kofi. They have a Kofi blow-up doll. Unfortunately, he broke his ankle at the hands of the Revival last week. That sucks. I guess he really did have surgery, huh? I did not know this, but
I mean, they put out a pretty legit, not report, but
I wonder if it must have happened last week. Because, I mean, if you're working on a fractured ankle, that's not going to last very long. So, bummer for him, but best wishes, Kofi. Come back soon.
Yeah.
So Xavier Woods says, Revival, come and get this work. Revival hits the ring, and wow, really, really good match. All over Xavier.
Before
Please.
we get to that match, I want to talk about the old school genius that was the shirts that they were wearing.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
What did it say?
That's such one. Dash Wilder was wearing a shirt that said "We broke Kofi's ankle," and then Scott Dawson was wearing a shirt that had the pop cycle and 2017 to 2017.
Wow.
It was pretty genius, and it
That's- yeah.
reminded me straight up of like some Dallas Sportatorium type
Yeah,
stuff.
at the Sportatorium.
Sportatorium, baby. Yes.
The funny thing is about this song, it's literally the same verse over
It's the same
and over.
verse
Because it's on my workout playlist, and I'm waiting for more lyrics. And it's like, no, it's just that on a loop.
I really do love this song, and yeah, there's not many lyrics you need to memorize because it's one verse.
I guess
love
just stick
that
with
you
what
love
works.
this song, and this doesn't qualify as butt rock.
Oh
Right.
no! Oh no!
How is
I
this
won't,
not butt
no,
rock?
don't get me wrong. This is extremely butt.
Okay.
I have never once said that this was not butt. This is the definition of butt rock.
All right.
But there's good butt and there's bad butt, and this just happens to be good butt.
Okay, I didn't know that you considered. I didn't know there was good butt.
Oh yeah, butt
Apparently
isn't
there is.
butt isn't inherently bad.
Oh.
But things can be. There's a lot of overlap in that Venn diagram that also looks like a butt.
Okay, got it. So this is the
Okay.
butt rock you do enjoy,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you do not enjoy.
Oh, I have some terrible taste in music. I'll have you know. I like. There's a lot of butt rock that I do like.
Okay.
It's
Fair
just a very specific type.
Well, Kofi, best wishes, and so we get the Revival taking on Woods and Big E, and I love this match. Really
Dope.
physical, hot tag from Big E. The huge, I don't know what Xavier was thinking, but all the way across the ring, landed on his knees first, but hey, still hit the elbow.
Going for that
Yeah.
elbow, yeah.
A
Going
for
the-
effort.
Going for the
Yeah.
Grand Naniwa style.
I guess there
from
just
the...
wasn't enough spring from, he couldn't quite Shane it.
That ring is very, very
It's
large.
very long.
A for effort, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
And like when you're doing the Shane and you can drop kick and extend your legs, that's one thing. An elbow drop is much harder to get distance on.
Yeah. And just when you think New Day is getting the upper hand on the Revival, oh no, Xavier Woods goes off the top rope right into the Shadow Machine for the win.
Oh boy.
It was gorgeous.
Oofa doofa.
That looked
He's
incredible.
dead now. He's dead.
Xavier literally spun on his head, I think.
He
like breakdancing.
Well,
right.
he just the way he flipped over, he was one of those like slowly like.
The only thing that was missing was a square of cardboard beneath him.
Yeah.
And a boombox.
Exactly.
Does this tells me? I think New Day is going to SmackDown.
I don't think that is outside of the realm of possibility at all. In
I
fact, I think that they're so over.
Definitely happening.
I think they're so over that it would actually be a pretty good move, especially since we got a lot of really good people tonight.
Right, absolutely.
Unless this is going to be a feud, but the fact that Revival's got them 2 up in less than a week.
This was just, I think this might have just been a little hot shot to sort of legitimize the Revival.
And now Revival can say, we shipped them all the way to Tuesday nights and that whole thing.
All the way to tomorrow.
Hashtag top guys.
Top guys, clink me.
So I'm pretty sure we're going to see New Day on SmackDown. It's a bummer that Kofi's injured right now.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's a fresh start for New Day.
Right.
I mean, they already wear a lot of blue.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't be that big of a change.
Yeah.
So as long as they keep them together.
Very true.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, without a doubt, I was really enjoyed the Revival. They've had a hell of a week, and we'll see what happens to New Day. But we also have to mention that New Day versus the Revival was a tag team match.
I didn't know we were going there this early.
Chat roll is calling for it. I got to give the people what they want. I'm a man of the people, Ty. You know that.
I mean, if anything.
Don't worry. Might not be the last time.
I think Mark is just going to troll us the entire time.
Delightful.
Exquisite.
Well, no, somebody in the chat brought up a very good theory. How about we see the Revival take the belts off of the Hardy Men and they shatter Matt and leave him in a broken state.
Condition.
Would I love
a
that?
Broken condition. Because he said WrestleMania temporarily fixed his condition.
Right. It contained it. Right. Mahan.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that theory a lot. Just because I like the wordplay.
Absolutely. So Neville, he's backstage. He says he's better than Austin Aries. He's already proven it. Nobody can touch me. TJ Perkins says, I think I can shut you up. And Neville basically says, you know what, your career's a joke. You were the first ever Cruiserweight champion. Now no one even cares about you. No one respects you. I'm the only person that respects you. Aries comes up and says, look, I'm wearing sunglasses indoors, but I can still see through your crap. You're lying through your teeth. He's just buttering you up, TJ. TJ walks off, somewhat angry.
Can I say how much I loved this interaction between Neville and TJ Perkins?
Yeah.
Where I was just like, Neville, oh my God, Neville, no.
The only thing this promo was missing. So there's over on Up Rocks, Brandon Stroud's recaps of like old school NXT. He used to always talk about do you remember that movie Oculus that WWE came out with?
Oh my God!
Where
involving mirrors?
Yeah.
I remember
They used to do these segments on NXT where like Sasha Banks, when she was like a clean cut like baby face, she'd be like brushing her hair, and Charlotte would come up from behind her and like basically do exactly what Neville and just like get in her ear and be the devil on her shoulder, and Sasha would she'd be like looking off, but it was that mirror. He had this theory that it was that mirror that affected everyone and turned them evil, and that's all that the segment needed was the Oculus mirror.
Wow, I would love that. That would be amazing. And then like the camera changes and she's just there by herself. Like.
Right.
I mean, Neville continues to just absolutely crush it. And,
Gold.
He was like saying things that we were thinking but didn't want to think out loud.
And not one video game reference from TJ, which is great.
That was good. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
I was kind of expecting him to be like, "I'll just go reset myself."
God damn.
Yeah.
And then we need like the David Caruso CSI drop.
Yeah!
Neville, we're off on the wrong foot. Perhaps we should start over.
Yeah!
Start over.
Old school video game. You hit the start over button, dude.
Yeah, you hit the start over button.
You know,
The
the
start-
start.
we got what he was doing.
We
We got
picked up
it.
what he was putting down, and what he was putting down
The funnest of days.
was very fun, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, after Raw tonight, I'm going to a place that has old school arcade games.
There you go.
Nice.
What place?
Nice.
Well, I have a show first, and then I'm going to meet up with a friend. It's called One Up.
Oh, I heard about
the
that.
one up's awesome.
Super dope.
Yeah,
I
there you
love
go.
that place. Good.
Anyways, Kurt Hawkins, y'all. Face the facts. He's one of the other people that is now on
I
Raw.
love Kurt Hawkins.
He's the best get since the Louisiana Purchase. Don't know if you know that. Where's the welcoming committee? He wants to know. Well, you know who shows up to greet him?
The Big Show.
And
The Big Show. God, The Big Show needs to be the next musical cue. I just realized.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I know.
before Hawkins even gets three
Hindsight
words out,
2020.
WMD for the win. FT dubs.
Yeah.
That was, I love Kurt Hawkins. He makes the most of every second,
Sure, absolutely.
you know.
The Hawkins Tonk Man, as the Good Brothers would call him.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Austin Aries taking on TJ Perkins. This match was really fun. A lot of good stuff happening here. Aries goes off the top rope to the outside, hits the elbow. Neville hits the ring. Aries just slips back in the ring in time. Perkins small packages him for the win. We're thinking, oh, okay. Neville's watching from the outside. Aries is not happy.
Well, there was also, I don't know if you touched on the huge distraction from Neville.
There was a big distraction. For
Right.
sure.
Yeah, that's right.
After the match, Perkins attacks Aries from behind. That detonation kick was perfect. And the fall, when Aries got hit in the head, just
Oh, that cell was gorgeous.
the cell was just absolutely perfect. So yeah, Perkins, I like it. It was time to do something different with it.
Definitely, exactly.
I like that.
Well, there was a lot of truth to Neville's promo. Like, ever since the inception of 205 Live, he had been kind of lost in the shuffle.
Which is weird. I mean, they gave him the coolest song ever.
That song is pretty incredible. I will say that.
The guy's a great performer. There's a reason he won the Cruiserweight Classic. So I'm not quite sure what happened along the way.
Right.
I know.
What do you think
well,
it was?
there's a lot of other really great wrestlers.
I think that's
just
what it was. It was just so easy. There was so much new talent all at once that I think it would have been easy for anyone to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about all the other wrestlers that we were seeing. I mean, do we want to see less of Jack Gallagher? Or,
Right.
You know,
There was Jack Gallagher. There
I mean,
was
we
Rick
got
Swan.
Mustafa Ali, and
Mustafa Ali,
he was
absolutely.
showing it out.
I mean, they're all such good performers. I'm just a really big fan of TJ in the ring.
Sure.
And so I was very surprised when he started to kind of fade.
On a pure technical level, he's definitely got to be in the top 3 of that division.
For sure. Yeah, and that's why I was surprised to see him slowly start fading. I also kind of get it, though, because the Cruiserweight Classic really showcased him, arguably more than anybody else.
Right.
So everyone who watched 205 Live already knew him. They had to get other people in the limelight so people get to know. So I kind of
That's very true. That's
that.
very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be the reason.
Yeah, and he's coming back around again. Look at this.
Well, and I think this is a perfect reset button, if you will.
Yes, it was. It's
Or a
like
start over button.
It's
I
like he
believe
had
you mean
a
the start over button.
start over button.
God, that
The
needs
start
to be
over
a
button.
shirt.
It's kind of like having an any key.
Oh, I just get
Where's
it.
the any key?
Where's the any key?
I get it now. I should have said reset button, huh?
Yeah,
I think you were
it was
you were
fine.
confusing
We
press start
got it.
with game over. I think that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We
Whatever.
got
I mean, I was right there.
Oh, we
Yeah,
got
you
got
were
where
right
you
there.
were.
That was fine.
Yeah.
I had my CSI. What show is it? The sunglasses? David.
Was it
CSI Miami.
That's what it was.
What's
Yeah.
the dude's name? The redhead?
David Crusoe.
Yeah, I had that
Right.
Crusoe moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you want to know a quick fun fact?
Yes.
With that, one of the things that and this is like on the internet, he thought that his character was a ghost. So that was why he wouldn't look people in he wouldn't look
Wait, what do you
people in
mean
the
he
eye.
thought?
He was like
His
character's-
character was not, in fact, a ghost.
No, it was not a ghost.
Very much
But,
not.
He was like, my character's like a ghost. That's why he doesn't really look people in the eye.
That's
He's always off to
incredible.
the side.
Who told him that?
Oh, we will talk about this after the air because I have got so many theories to share
Sure, theories on what? David Caruso?
on ghosts in fiction.
Well, you know, this is like
we were
Mr.
gonna get the
Ghost
golden
Man.
truth so quick. We gotta get
Okay,
back.
I'm
on.
interested. I don't know what the heck you're talking about, but I am
Okay.
interested to talk about this. But I'm not shocked David Caruso did something
We
weird.
might, let's anchor about it. Let's anchor about it after
All
the
right.
show.
Okay.
Seth Rollins, he hits the ring. We did it. We slayed the king. And he said, the easy way out would be to go on SmackDown, but I took the easy way out many times before in my career. I'm not leaving Raw without a fight. For the second time in the evening, we see Kurt Angle. I said, look, Stephanie, she hates you. Triple H hates you. They want you gone. But as far as I'm here, you're the one-legged man who won the ass-kissing
Whoa.
Hello, Mr. Freud.
Woo,
You're the
Freudian
one
slip
Sounds like
much.
Johnny needs to hit the start over button.
Yes. You're the one-legged man who won the ass-kicking contest. Look, I've been up since 6 a.m. I'm tired. Ass-kicking contest, yes. And as far as I'm concerned, you have a spot on Raw as long as I am GM.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Ty.
Ty's broken.
Oh boy.
When
Ty has a condition.
when he first started, I was like, well, I was in the mindset like, oh no, they're just bringing people on SmackDown. They're not telling from SmackDown. They're not telling who's going on to, from Raw to SmackDown. Wait, did that come out right? That didn't come out right. Scratch that. Start over button. Yeah, they only had SmackDown people showing up. They weren't telling that Raw people were going to SmackDown. But when Seth started talking, I was like, oh, he's about to get booted. He's going to get booted over to SmackDown. I was so sure.
It could happen on SmackDown. Sure. We could have someone in the ring who gets told, oh, guess what? Well, you're going to Raw. Then again, that's the weird thing is, are we going to see someone transfer tomorrow?
I don't think so. I think each show is for the new recruits. I think we'll only see the new people on Raw tonight and the new people on SmackDown tomorrow.
Yeah, like they'll show up and then that's it. That's
yeah.
how they know.
Yeah. If nothing else, just because that's Occam's razor. It's the simplest way to make it stick in people's minds.
Yeah, you would think. So it looks like Seth Rollins is staying here, but he gets attacked by Samoa Joe. But Rollins gets advantage, throws him outside the ring, kind of, sort of. Samoa Joe retreats. So that looks like that's gonna be something on Raw.
Sure.
I honestly thought Samoa Joe, I predicted that he'd be on SmackDown. I guess I might be wrong.
Like I said, I think we were talking about this before we went on, but I think any recent call-ups, i.e. Samoa Joe, Nakamura, Revival, I think they'll stay on their respective brands.
They'll still be safe.
Yeah. I think we're heading in the Joe Rollins direction for Payback, obviously.
Yep.
And so yeah, a lot of people brought up the theory though that like this whole, not to poke holes, but this whole story between Triple H and Rollins was centered around the fact that like no doctor in the world would clear you, like your knee is in pieces, it's broken.
Yeah.
And then he was in a very much sanctioned match the very next night after WrestleMania.
Yeah, very good point.
After a 25-minute match that centered around destroying his knee further.
They hit the start over button after WrestleMania. And
There you go.
everything heals up.
That's what it is. I did just watch the on the network. They've got a really awesome documentary on the Raw after Mania and like the history of the Raw after Mania, with it being as wild as it is.
Cool.
It's pretty awesome.
Because the start over button refills your health and your mana.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
It's like eating one of those giant rotisserie chickens in Final Fight or Double Dragon.
There you go.
Double Dragon, hell yeah.
Bones and all.
Yeah, it's like
when you said Double Dragon, at first I thought you meant Double Dribble, the old basketball game.
Double Dribble.
That had the horrible voiceover that went, Double Dribble. Like, you couldn't even understand it. It was so Nintendo. It was
what
great.
a deep cut.
Oh, yeah. Well, Double Dragon's just as deep.
Yeah, I guess.
yeah.
Same era.
Double
it's at a lot of barcades where you can play Double Dragon.
Absolutely.
I like it a lot.
Kevin Owens backstage saying the shakeup, it's not going to affect me, but Chris Jericho should be happy to go to SmackDown so he can avoid me forever. I'm the U.S. champ, which makes me the #1 champion on the show, not Dean Ambrose. I'm the man here because this is the Kevin Owens show.
He's the man now, dog.
But in the main event, they're going to be facing each other tonight.
Champ versus champ. I love champ versus champ matches.
Yeah, that's a fun match.
Always a good time. Charlotte versus Nia Jax. Whew, all Nia early on. But wow, that moonsault, y'all.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, God. There are a few landings on the show that were less than pleasant.
This
was one of them.
That was all knees in the face.
No, it was actually Charlotte's boot. And I don't know if it got Nia in the head or right on the shoulder.
Right.
But it kind of then tipped Charlotte almost face first. It looks like she landed just fine.
Yeah.
But whoa.
It could have been very bad.
That angle, the way she hit. Ugh.
Right.
I think the problem was that Nia was taller than she was used to her opponent being.
I think you're very, very much right. I think that's a very good point.
There is a very big height difference between like her and a Sasha or a Bailey, and I think that's where that kind of tripped up a little bit. But
that's a really good point.
Weren't we just talking last week? We wanted a Charlotte and a Nia Jax like match.
We got
it this week.
And I think it's because they're not going to be on the same brand for much longer.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they took Charlotte to SmackDown.
That's what I'm thinking.
Would not be surprised.
She's done everything you could possibly.
She's a 4-time Raw Women's Champion.
If Nia's gonna dominate on Raw, it avoids her dominating Charlotte. Now, granted, natural selection, near fall, that was impressive, and then Nia Jax sends her right into the turnbuckle, Samoan drop for the win. So Nia Jax is just decimating everyone. She wasn't done, by the way, after this, but
right.
So yeah, she defeats Charlotte. I mean, it's another one of those revival situations. Maybe they take out New Day, bam, they go to New Day goes to SmackDown.
Right.
Could be a similar situation with Charlotte.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah, I think Nia definitely needed this, and I think it worked wonders. I don't think Charlotte lost any heat for it.
No, because it's versus Nia Jax.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I'll tell you, Nia's winning me over.
Sure.
It's been the last week or two where I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to get it.
Right.
For a while, I was just like, I get it. She's powerful. She's strong. But I just don't see the storytelling. I don't see enough selling on her part.
Sure.
Now I'm starting to get it. And I think the pay-per-view, I think WrestleMania helped when they all... By the way, I did call that, by the way.
Everyone teaming up on her?
Yeah, I said what I would do is immediately all three team up on her, eliminate her. Now, I also would have had Nia Jax decimate all three of them so it started square one.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought that was great, and it just got her even more angry, and now all of a sudden, good luck, everybody.
Yeah.
So...
Now, she's like the Great White in Jaws. She's just going after everybody now.
We're going to need a bigger ring.
Ooh. We're going to need a bigger ring.
I like that. There you go.
Finn Balor, baby. Back on Raw, taking on
Jinder Mahal, baby.
Hard Body Mahal.
Do we got Jinder's music?
Hard body. I forgot about
That's
that.
some good music.
Yes. God, Mark, seamless.
He really is.
So good.
Jinder very aggressive early on, but it doesn't take too long.
That forearm, though. Can we talk about that forearm real quick?
Please.
Just knocked him silly. Boy, oh boy.
Knocked fourth grade out of him,
Oh.
please.
Gotta be careful with those forearms.
Don't hinder Jinder, man. We've been saying it. We've been saying it for a while.
The dude's in incredible shape.
And can I actually say something that I just realized?
Please.
All right.
That now, after the shakeup, 2/3 of 3MB are on Raw now,
Oh, that's right. We got Jinder and
Yeah.
we got Heath Slater.
And-
Rhino is an honorary member.
and the other third is on NXT.
Well, yeah. That's not gonna happen again.
No.
I was hoping that they were going to NWO it or click it, and one take over Raw, one take over SmackDown, one take over NXT, and then it's all run by the three-man band, baby!
Dominate the whole
That'd be
company.
something. I gotta tell you, a little surprised by the Drew McIntyre thing.
Me too. Me too.
I don't know what the difference is going to be this time around. But
I don't know. I think he's proven himself since then. Not to get on an NXT tangent,
But Johnny, he's fought all around the world and won titles from all around the world.
yeah, I know.
nowhere specific.
No, it's just all around the world.
Just all around.
All around the world, statues crumble for him.
I love
Sure.
that
Yeah.
euphemism.
No, Galloway's he's fantastic. I just
Yeah.
don't know if people are gonna really. They didn't take to him at TNA either. There's something.
Did they not?
Not
You
really.
mean all around the world, Johnny?
All around the
Sorry,
world.
all around the
Do
world.
you mean?
In Scotland, yeah, of course, but there's something I don't know that the audiences just don't necessarily, especially as a babyface, they just didn't really
Right.
take to him, and I want him to find that thing that really makes it magnetic for him.
Sure.
And so maybe NXT will do it for him. I mean, I think him versus Rude could be fantastic.
Sure. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, so Finn, coup de grace for the win, boom. But Jinder, he's still on Raw.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I mean, I guess he's not necessarily precluded from showing up on SmackDown.
True. Well, you know who is?
Who's that?
He's here.
Oh, I missed this.
Yeah, this.
Wow, I
Right?
did not expect this one.
I expected it, but not during this. Not interacting with Finn, which I was very excited about.
Yeah, I like that dynamic. It's like it makes me feel like maybe they're not going to be throwing him under the bus.
Who, Bray?
Right.
Yes,
But
they
they
are.
are-
He's
but
taking
they're
on Finn
going to.
Balor. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah. I don't
He goes
know.
from being a
not.
champion to losing to Orton, which I don't understand, and now he's going to go to Finn Balor.
And then bugs on the ring. Suddenly bugs.
There'll be maggots and snakes.
Suddenly bugs. Suddenly crickets.
Man.
But I'm excited. I am 100,000% on board with the Demon versus the Eater of Worlds. Tell me that story, please, and thank you.
Let's hope so. I mean, I definitely didn't expect him to leave SmackDown. I really thought that I thought he was going to have a long title run, and then WrestleMania,
Right.
no.
Right.
Yeah, I guess they could have something with him and Strowman. You know, that's a possibility.
I mean, Strowman is a former family member.
yeah. So
It's weird.
do something
Like,
with that.
it's weird now that Strowman has been so well built up as his own
Whoa,
force.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I forget all about him being the black sheep and him like
Just being the tall guy, like in
Right.
the corner, just standing there.
Right.
Next to was like him, and then there's Rowan.
and it was only like a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, Bray Wyatt, he's one of the best performers you have, period. So, yeah, him being on the flagship makes perfect sense.
Sure.
I just really hope that he can get to a title picture again.
I hope so.
Yeah. Him versus Lesnar?
I could see that. Yeah.
Could do that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Imagine the promo wars between Wyatt and Heyman.
That's what I'm saying.
Ugh.
Yes.
And imagine, I'd love to see Lesnar get scared.
That would be, yeah, definitely.
That's not ever going to happen.
Well, no, and I think that reaction would make it such an amazing moment. I think.
Okay, I just don't think he has the capability of it. You know, like, I just think he honestly doesn't have like that emotional range.
Markeia!
I don't think
You don't understand.
I don't think we're talking Lesnar like shaking in a corner, like wetting himself, but like even just a little bit of hesitation.
I will make Paul Heyman shake in the corner.
Heyman, yes.
And Lesnar is going to urinate a little bit. Raw. I'm here. There you go.
I like it.
It's the first time I've done that in a
I'd
while.
love to see it.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
God,
it.
it has been a minute.
Well, of
It
course.
has been.
Miz taking on Sami Zayn. Sami early on with the upper hand, but Miz uses Maurice as a shield as always. Then he gets the Daniel Bryan kicks in. Blue Thunder bomb by Sami. Maurice interferes, but Sami counters the skull crushing finale into a roll up for the W. Really cool win for Sami here.
So good. I am 1000% not a ska fan, but man, do I love this music.
Good point.
Is it butt ska?
I mean, to me, there's no difference.
I don't
me,
think you
boy.
know
To me, all
enough.
ska's butt.
I don't think you know enough
I'll
about
say it-
ska
I'll
to
say
say
it
if
right
it's
now.
butt or not. Well, you telling me you don't like Real Big Fish? Come on, man.
Definitely not.
That song
Yeah,
sell out.
or,
You love that song.
Oh no, I know.
Mighty Boss Stones.
I
No doubt back in the day.
I
Yeah.
played plenty of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Don't even act like you've never
Goldfinger.
had to knock on wood, Ty. Come on.
Oh god.
That's the impression that I get, is that you've had to knock on
I
wood.
hate you
Oh,
so much.
goodness.
I was just talking about the Mighty
No.
Boston.
Don't even act. Don't even act like it.
I hate it.
Trying to keep the ground on your feet.
I hate it so
Yeah.
much. I hate it so much.
Michael Cole with Roman Reigns for about 30 seconds, then all literal hell breaks loose. Roman says, I did what I had to do, but I'm the big dog now. This is my yard. And then...
I love I love that it was in the middle of like the squarest line that Cole could have been delivering. Like, well, that's a heck of a motto, and then just death, death, death.
Wow. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
It just he's already dead.
He attacks him, throws him up against a bunch of things, literally launches him 9 feet in the air.
No, he smashes the big rolly case like
Right?
against
Oh,
him
right.
against the
that
wall.
too. That too.
That
Yeah.
I thought that was the end of it.
No, that was like out of Terminator. Terminator 2 when he's like the other Terminator 3000.
The T-1000?
Is smashing Terminator's head with like this. He's like pulling. Y'all, he's like pulling a T-beam or something, and he's smashing it
Oh,
into
okay,
his
sure,
head.
sure, sure, sure.
Guns N'
Over and over
Roses.
again.
Yeah. No, the T-1000. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Robert
There you go.
Patrick.
Like that.
Yeah.
It was very similar. I thought that was the end of it when he slammed the rolly case into him.
You
hurt
would have.
ribs.
You would have thought so.
Okay, you know what? You did your deed. Get out.
Now just
No.
get out.
They start putting him on the stretcher. They got him strapped in. They raise it up. They're about to walk him over to the ambulance. And then Braun's like, I'm not
Call
done.
the ambulance.
He grabs the stretcher and rolls it over to the cliff and just does one
The
of
cliff.
yeah.
It was
a
a,
Bugs
it was a Wile E.
Yeah.
Coyote.
Wile E. Coyote.
He does one of those like when you're just mad at a table and you get up, you're like, I'm out. And does one of those.
Before
A table flip.
before
Yeah.
Roman falls, he looks at the camera and holds up a sign. Vomit.
Flips it, lands, what looked to be head first,
Yeah.
and
Lands
Braun
like in
walks
a
away.
parking bay. Lands
only-
in a parking bay.
the
He's
only-
still strapped to the stretcher.
The only thing that was missing from this, do you remember when the Big Show
Sure.
strapped Rey Mysterio to a stretcher and then swung him
Yeah.
like a baseball bat against the ring post?
I do.
Yes, and he like landed like almost face
On his face with his arm strapped to his
That was
side.
worse than his WCW days when NWO launched him up against the truck.
The Kevin Nash, the big sexy lawn dart into
Yeah.
the side of the trailer.
Oh man.
Anyway, Strowman wasn't done. So, as they are getting him into the ambulance, Strowman... I'm not done yet.
I'm still not done.
I'm not finished with you.
Oh.
Gets in the ambulance, just punches him a few more times, slams the door shut. We're thinking, okay, you did your deed.
Now we got
Good.
it.
He's not done yet.
It's like the ending of the Lord of the Rings. It just keeps going.
He lifts up.
He like hunkers
The
down.
ambulance.
He lifts up the ambulance
Man.
and keels it over.
Just
Like,
as if it were a cow and he was a rowdy boy on a Friday night.
Did anybody else think like he wasn't done and was then gonna light the ambulance on fire?
Yeah.
And just burn Roman in effigy?
I was expecting that.
something.
Oh man.
It was
awesome.
It was
Yes.
amazing.
It was awesome.
It was amazing.
Whoever came up with that idea in that segment, kudos, because it was so fun and scary.
It was so excessive.
Perfect. And especially after I was already like, no, during Reigns' interview. It's just, this is so average.
Right. The interview was coming off very like vanilla, like, oh really? We're going back to this?
Well, and like
on.
just a week after that amazing badass moment where he just said that one line and dropped the mic and left, and might as well have just flipped everyone off as he was walking up
was
the ring.
dope.
It was so dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman also didn't like the promo.
Yes.
And
no,
this is what happens.
Loved this. You know, I think we might get that bloody handprint. It might happen.
At this point, I would be so
might
stoked if we did.
happen. I think it has to.
I want to see a
If it
segment.
doesn't after this, it's just not going to happen.
We're going to have to
It's
see.
not going to happen.
Right.
We got to see Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman next week have a bit of a face-off, you would think.
Right.
But wow. Braun.
Yeah. Please, Braun, don't hurt him.
I don't even know how whatever they did.
To have that happen.
What a great visual that was, though.
It was great.
Yes, it was.
I was also the other thing I was really hoping for when he pushed the stretcher over the cliff was like a Married with Children style, just the dummy
Sure.
getting
Oh.
thrown. Oh.
Or like the Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince.
He was thrown from the building.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when he'd throw him out the house.
I was hoping for like Braun to put his arms up and give us like a solid O'Doyle rules.
Right. I can see just a whole family of Strowmans.
Yeah.
A whole family of Strowmans that all kind of look like each other.
like ambulances.
All wearing the same pants.
Exactly. The same haircut.
Next
male
up,
or female.
we got Sheamus, Cesaro, and the Hardy Men taking on Gallows and Anderson and the Shining Stars in an 8-man
Oh, another one.
tag team match.
You know it's the Mac.
Oh, you
We already did it.
Don't
It was
tease-
longer. We're
don't
doing it.
tease us,
We're
Mark.
done.
Oh,
Wow.
I did
Come
like
on.
5 bronze.
Mark. The
Listen to
troll.
Unfun Dad in the booth.
Unfun.
Oh.
Yo, sorry. Maybe I'll just start this whole thing over.
You're tuning into
I will
Oh,
turn
man.
this show around.
But I think the most important thing, besides the fact that we get an awesome twist of fate followed by a swanton for the win.
Well, hang on.
Whoa, wait, you're going too fast.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
okay,
wait.
okay.
The exchange, the double team offense between Sheamus and Cesaro was
So
so,
good.
on point.
So
like,
good.
Yes.
not only recently with the entrance and the matching outfits,
It's been.
obviously that's all awesome, but
Yeah.
that sequence in the corner, Sheamus throws Cesaro into the running uppercut. Cesaro throws Sheamus into that shoulder. Cesaro runs across the ring, springs off the top with a twisting crossbody, and gets so much height and so much distance for such a large man, such a large Swissman.
Largeman.
Man, unbelievable.
Those two
Yeah.
together have really just been phenomenal.
right.
I know. Thank you, Mick Foley,
And
for
I've
making that happen.
And that's the thing. I've got to say, I was not on board with this angle when it happened, but it's so worth it.
Here's the thing, though. They're both individually, and say what you will about Sheamus' character, they're both individually great.
Sure.
They're both such great workers. Of course it was going to work.
Right.
And it just took some time, but I mean, now it's more fun seeing them on the same page than seeing them argue.
Exactly. That's exactly
Yes.
right.
Which
And
is-
the
Yes, it is.
fact that it's taken so long and they've actually taken their time sowing those seeds.
I mean, what a novel
It
idea.
took them a long time. Yeah.
Having
to get
patience.
to get to matching kilts.
Yep. Having patience. What amazing. Oh, we have to mention
Yeah.
El
Forget
Vagabundo.
about your guy.
Oh boy.
Drifter.
El Vagabundo showing up.
The Drifter, baby. Elias Sam.
What did he do?
He drifted.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
I want to see him start doing that, just wandering around.
I have a feeling that that's what we're gonna. They are taking the Drifter name Very literally.
We're gonna get 2 solid months of drifting before he finally shows up.
That's exactly right. This will be the drifting version of
I
Emily.
love that idea. It just randomly shows up at different points of the show.
He just drifts. It's a very literal nickname. And yeah, he just gets nuclear heat.
That's great.
Except for, I will say, except for the takeover crowd.
Oh, don't worry. We talked all about El Vagabundo on last week's NXT After Show,
Did
which
you?
you can watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on. I just don't get it.
I like it. I like it so much.
I mean, it was fun, and it was a great conversation. Make sure to join us every Wednesday at 6 p.m. right after NXT goes off the air.
Great idea here from Amin Ajani. He said the drifters should just keep drifting along to the music and appear on both shows. Yeah, I love that.
I would be super on board with that as well.
Yeah. Also, Mark, chat room has a nickname for you, Cranky Dad.
Heyo.
Damn kids don't know what cranky actually is.
Get off, man.
I'll show you, Cranky. Dana Brooke backstage reading a book that says How to Be Your Own Protege. Emma's like, let's go. She's like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be on Raw, and I'm here to pick up the pieces because Charlotte dumped you. And Dana says, nah, the entire women's division's gotten better since you've been gone. That includes me, so I'm not going to go with you or anyone else anymore.
That's awesome.
That's
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I like Dana getting agency of her own finally.
Yeah, standing up for herself.
Yep. I like also, completely random aside, you've had so many unintentional rhymes tonight, Johnny.
What did I say this time?
Dana Brooke reading a book.
I didn't even notice that.
Finn getting the win.
Jeez.
You've had a lot of them. I've been counting them in my hand.
You know,
you're a poet. You don't even
it's
know
just
Didn't even realize it.
It's hard to recognize greatness.
I mean, it bees that way, you know.
Yeah.
It strikes at the most unexpected time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, that's all we see from those two tonight. But
Right.
maybe leading to something. Maybe one of them goes to SmackDown. You got to believe someone's going to SmackDown.
Right.
So Sasha Banks introduces Bayley. Bayley thanks everyone, of course, and Sasha Banks says, I want a title shot, but oh my God, Alexa Bliss shows up.
Talk about one of my favorite themes.
Man, but the only thing I hate is that she interrupted a possible Sasha heel turn.
That's definitely where I thought it was going for sure.
Right?
But that reaction, can we talk about that reaction for Alexa?
Strong.
Like, I feel like that might have been the strongest reaction of the night.
Well, it's because she's so good on the mic. Like, when she became this character, and what I love about her is she stays in the moment and doesn't care so much about a script. Like, she starts to begin what she's supposed to say.
Right.
Here's the crowd, and she's like, do you think I care what you guys think?
And I think
bam.
She's one of the only people that does that. Like,
that's my point.
If the crowd is supposed to be hating her and they start liking her, she turns that around real quick.
Which is fantastic.
It's awesome.
Like, why do you think when New Day were heels, one of the reasons they got over so much is because they were always in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
They were led by the audience. Yeah, they had their thing that they were going to say, but depending on what the audience did, they would have quips and remarks to them, and all of a sudden that made the audience, it always makes the audience feel, oh, we're part of the show.
Yeah. Right. Well, and that was also one of the hallmarks of The Rock. When The Rock was at his height as a villain and he would start saying his catchphrases and they started to catch on, he would get so mad and he would turn on the audience for saying them along with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alexa's always in the moment, and she's got the confidence to say something and then jump back into it, which is what she did.
And the fact that it seems like she's got like 5,000 bespoke facial expressions that can occur at any given time.
And I will say
interaction's
this.
important.
At
It takes you back to,
WrestleMania,
like Daniel Bryan when he would do that.
At WrestleMania, so we're all filing out of the stadium. A lot of people, 75,000 plus. I could not believe how many overweight men were wearing Little Miss Bliss t-shirts. It was off-putting, but awesome at the same time. I'm not kidding. I'm walking down the stairs, 3 large men, one after the other, just bam, all wearing super tight Little Miss Bliss t-shirts.
You may well have
Nice.
seen my friend Nick. You may well
It's
have
possible.
seen one.
I appreciate that, actually.
Absolutely.
I thought it was great.
Hey, she's got great shirts.
She does. And just as she says she's going to dominate Mickie James, baby. Yes! Says Alexa, your nightmare has just begun. But by God, it's Nia Jax!
Man.
Not like
Out of
most
the
girls.
blind spot.
Yeah.
We have not seen a steamrolling like this since Braun and Roman.
Yeah.
Oh,
When
yes.
Roman fell into that little crevice in between the ramp and the barricade.
Man, she pushes Alexa pushes
Go
Sasha
on.
Yeah.
into a Samoan drop. No, Samoan drop to Bayley. Sasha goes outside the ring. Basically, Nia Jax just dominates.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, this is...
Yeah, she does.
And there's that little moment of connection between her and Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
That looks like they might be on the same page.
Like, okay.
Which wasn't Nia on the same page months ago with... Was it Charlotte?
Alicia Fox? Like, she was on the same page with her for a second.
Maybe.
Hot second.
Yeah. Very interesting, though. But yeah, I mean, hey. Nia Jax is going to be champion.
I think if we are going that route with Alexa Bliss and like Nia Jax as like her heavy, as her enforcer, I think that would be awesome for sure. Once again, it seems like another kind of throwback.
I don't think we're going to see any kind of enforcement. No, she's going for the title.
Yeah, I want to see some Nia Jax action.
Well, yeah, and I'm saying Alexa Bliss doesn't have the title.
But Alexa versus Nia, that would be almost hard to imagine. Like, she's literally...
I'm telling you, I think we're going with, like, Nia Jax being kind of her bodyguard.
Like Shawn Michaels Diesel?
Yeah, that's exactly... Or Shawn Michaels Psycho Sid.
What's in it for Nia Jax when she's already dominating everyone?
Yeah, she's dominating. Let her dominate. Let
know.
her have her run.
I didn't
Yes,
write the
Nia,
show.
yes.
I'm just saying there
I
was that
see your
moment.
Todd,
point.
why do you hate Nia being by herself?
I'm just saying that moment was not for nothing. Like, she had a perfect chance to also destroy Alexa Bliss. Why wouldn't she have taken it?
I don't know.
She
But-
wasn't hungry at that moment. She'd already eaten
She's
enough.
literally over double the size of Alexa Bliss, I think.
I know.
I mean, them
I
one-on-one
know
would
that.
be difficult to even fathom. But
Yeah.
eventually it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. It's with as small as the women's divisions are on each show, any permutation of two women will happen on a long enough timeline.
Yeah, it might. Main event, Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens. Wow, very physical. A lot of crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
Ambrose eventually gets the big W with Dirty Deeds, but this match essentially had everything you could ask for between these
It
two.
was good.
Yep.
It was good. I love it when Dean just takes damage and he takes it and takes it until he hits berserker mode. I love that.
Right, absolutely. That's yeah.
I mean, I'm a sucker for that all day,
Right.
any day.
Right.
And also, if this is KO's last match, it would make sense.
Sure.
And then Jericho gets the code breaker on him. So, yeah, I think we're seeing KO on SmackDown.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we
Which is
easily
totally
could. I mean,
cool.
he's done a lot for Raw. He
Yeah,
really has.
Exactly. I
We've
think
loved
it's
him
about
here.
time.
Yeah.
He's the
Gotta
longest
see
reigning
him.
Universal Champion of all time.
He sure is.
He
It's gonna
is.
take a while
That
for
is-
Brock to beat that.
That's true.
I
so-
bet. I mean, he will, but
you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
Hey,
actually,
really quickly, everybody. Sorry to interrupt, but I just received, and this is legit. I'm not doing a bit.
Sure.
We
Okay.
just received some breaking news.
Oh, boy.
AfterBuzz TV exclusive.
WWE.com just announced that David Otunga is going to be moving to the Raw announce team, and Byron Saxton is going to be moving to the SmackDown announce
oh wow,
Oh wow.
team. Just
That-
announced
that is
right now.
I will say that is legitimately pretty shocking to me. I will say that.
Wow.
Okay.
Like Byron has legitimately been the voice,
Yeah.
kind of one of the most constant voices of Raw for a while.
I'm kind of surprised at that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not stoked for a potential JVL Byron combination.
Oh, you mean him making fun of Byron Saxton all flippin' night?
You know,
no,
just-
who would be
Yeah.
excited for that?
For an entire
I mean,
show's worth
to be
of-
fair, Byron's already getting made fun of by everyone.
Yeah, but
Right.
it's like differing levels. When those two get together, though, it's just kind of uncomfortable.
Well, Graves, see,
Right,
I
right,
love
right.
You know, it's just,
Graves is so clever and funny with his put downs. That's what I'm gonna miss.
Even
the-
then,
you
I
know.
feel like it gets
it
excessive.
does
Little
get
bit.
excessive.
I get that that's the bit, but I hate this trope, and I feel like I've gone on this rant very recently, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. But I hate this trope that there always has to be one like dork announcer that everyone hates. Why does that have to be a thing? Who is using that as their touchstone into the show?
I don't know.
Like the
Yeah.
announcers are supposed to be our way of kind of interacting, of relating to the show.
Yeah, and getting the back history of things.
Right.
And
If
everything
there's
like that,
someone
but-
that's legitimately 100%, and obviously this is a word that's been getting thrown around a lot lately, but if there's an announcer that's legitimately getting bullied week after week and he never gets any sort of retribution,
Right.
Yeah.
why is that a story that's being told?
Exactly.
It's a very good point.
I don't get it either. I mean, look, commentary is not easy, especially a 3-man booth. It's a very difficult balance. I don't know how Otunga's going to do on Raw compared to SmackDown.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you got to think they're not going to do that to Otunga.
You know what though? Here's the thing though. Since Morrow is gone from SmackDown,
Uh-huh.
they need someone a little stronger as the third man, and Byron is world stronger than Otunga, so maybe that's the reason behind it.
I think so, but I definitely think that story will continue to be told
Yeah.
with JBL just essentially berating him week after week.
God, it gets real rough.
It
You
does.
Remember?
Yeah,
It was just
absolutely.
like,
and
Dude,
and
dial it back a bit.
I'm not just saying that as a fan of wrestler Byron Saxton from Game Show NXT, even though I very much am. But there's just no point, especially when the people doing the bullying are being positioned as like as the funny guys. Like when Graves does it, he's being positioned as like, oh, look at this cool funny guy. He's being so clever and just snapping on Byron.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, to be fair, Byron does say a lot of things that warrant a little bit of joshing.
but a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a lot of them are just like legitimate points. He just said a sentence. It was a regular statement. He made a declarative statement, and then it's like pile on, pile on, pile on.
I just don't see. Every once in a while, I guess whatever, but I don't see the end game to it. Yeah. And I guess I never really thought about it that much until now. That's why all this is coming out.
They could just try a different trope.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, they said they were going to do everything as far as changes go, so there we go. There's a change up in the announcer crew. So we're going to have, Tom, JBL, and Byron.
Byron, yeah.
There you go. I mean, JBL and Byron have worked together plenty.
Right.
So,
yeah,
right.
No, they have.
It's not like a big shot.
Well, I feel like that's where this was born. This trope was born. And then Corey just inherited it.
Yeah, because remember when Corey first came on, it was just kind of forced. It was forced and kind of weird.
He did it in NXT.
He did it with Tom in NXT.
Here's the thing. And this is my opinion. If you're going to have a 3-man booth and one person is the sarcastic one, whoever he picks on has to be good enough at improv and comedy to fire back. Or like you said, it's the same story being told with no ending.
Right.
So for example, when me, Todd, and Stu Stone were doing commentary, Stu was the sarcastic one who always made jokes. But Todd and I were quick enough to give it back to him, so it worked.
Right.
But Otunga isn't.
Right.
And Byron a little bit.
Well, and like I said, I don't think that'll be the dynamic with Otunga.
Right.
I think
probably not.
Yeah. I mean, Otunga, to be fair, he might not people might not have been crazy about his ring work, but he's a former tag team champion.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. And best of luck to Mauro now as well. Obviously, he still has a contract for a couple of months.
Yeah, until August 12th.
Yeah. Doesn't look like he'll be back on television, but obviously he's got a lot of support.
And he said he will at least stay commentating, whether it's boxing, MMA.
Oh, the guy's so talented. He will get plenty of work.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where he ends up.
So overall, Bray Wyatt, Miz and Maurice, Dean Ambrose, Kurt Hawkins, Apollo Crews, Kalisto, Heath Slater and Rhino, and
I
Alexa
forgot about
Bliss.
Kalisto.
Yeah,
Kalisto, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, all going to Raw. I'm telling you, SmackDown Live, gonna be a lot of fun, gonna be must-see. But let's all put ourselves over, Ty Matthews.
Well, you can find me online at Ty Matthews PMA, as well as on Wednesdays on the Magicians After Show. You can check me out on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. We've talked enough about where you can find that. Coastline Clash is coming up on the 23rd. That's totally free. I will be back in a CWFH ring for the first time in almost 4 years, mixing it up myself. If you're in SoCal, it's a totally free show. Come check it out. I'm also co-producing a show called Jacked Wrestling Comedy at the Pack Theater every second Saturday of the month. It's a weird comedy wrestling variety show. It's the Muppets with wrestlers instead of Muppets. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I'm gonna have to go see that. Yes. I'm Markeia McCarty. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter.
You got it.
At MarkeiaMcCarty. Also, Snapchat is Darth Thinmins. Darth is Invader. Thinmins says in Girl Scout cookies. You can catch me on Marvel Movie News on our sister network, Popcorn Talk, and that is Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m. In fact, the Thor Ragnarok trailer dropped today. We will be breaking that down for you tomorrow. It is so good.
Dope.
And then also, I'm on a limited campaign with Saving Throw Show. I don't know if any nerds of a different fiber watch this show, but it's Star Wars RPG. It's kind of Edge of the Empire with Age of the Republic thrown in. And that's going to be Thursday nights at 8 p.m. So check me out, twitch.tv/Saving Throw Show.
Mark B. Don.
Oh, you mean me?
Yes.
You know that nickname you have.
Yeah, Mabidon. I'm a Pokemon. Hi, everybody. I'm the internet's Mark B. Donica. You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. I am one of the hosts of the NXT After Show every Wednesday on AfterBuzz TV, and I also help produce a lot of the other wrestling content here on the network. Today, on Lillian Garcia's Making Their Way to the Ring, we had Lita. An amazing interview, some stuff that she hasn't told anybody about her time with Matt and her time with Edge, and some of her time away. They talk about what went into bringing Matt back in the fold in 2005. You don't want to miss this one, let me tell you. And then on Xbox 12360 this past week, I was actually a part of the show, so thank you, Sean. With Ron Funches, we reviewed Sean's experiences at WrestleMania, as well as talked about the show as well. Also, don't forget to check out our other wrestling shows, Tuesday Night SmackDown, especially tomorrow. There's going to be a big old show figuring out who came from Raw. Also, Ty wouldn't tell you this, but I will. I'm killing it on Instagram.
You are
That's
really,
about that. So,
trust me, I really wanted to put that over on
Instagram stories, baby.
That's me. Find me at Mark B. Donica. A whole bunch of stuff happening at the network coming soon. So please stay tuned. What, Johnny?
Yeah, at jquasto, jlocomedy.com, Hollywood Improv this Wednesday, Ontario Improv next weekend, and I'm headlining the Bray Improv, recording my new comedy album Wednesday, April 26th. If anyone's near Orange County, trust me, it's going to be so much fun. And Sunday, April 23rd, Coastline Clash, one of the biggest events of the year for Championship Wrestling. We'd love to see you out there in Southern California. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We love you. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.